Well, apparently, I guess it was only a matter of time before Anita Sarkeesian slithered back out of her hole. And for those of you who don't know, if you were paying attention during the whole Gamergate thing, Anita Sarkeesian was a voice you would hear, an annoying voice that you would hear from, by the way, that would pop up looking for attention. The thing that's most annoying for me is probably her voice. I hear people say she's a monotone, so she's like me, which ain't good. I don't like me, and I don't like things that are like me. So I have double the reason not to like her. She's a con artist, an attention whore. Well, not a whore, but a prostitute for attention, I guess is the best way to describe her. To be PC anyway. And what I'm about to go over comes from Bound into Comics, and the three tweets you see are her just complaining, saying stupid shit, and trying to play victim. Seriously, of all the things to bitch about, she decides to complain about Mandalorian women having breast armor, or armor to, what's the word, compensate? No, not compensate. Accommodate the fact that one of them has breasts, or no, I think two or three of them do. And yeah, this is just over the Mandalorian. This isn't new though. I remember when the last season of the Mandalorian hit, she tried making a shitstorm then. It backfired on her miserably, and it's backfiring on her now. And I try to stay out of politics and the culture stuff with my videos, but or at least I was going to try to with YouTube. But you know, on this one, I will make an exception because Anita is an annoying kind of a person. Like, you know, like you ever seen that one episode of Family Guy where Stewie goes, "Oh, you are just the worst kind of a person," or something like that? That's Anita in a nutshell. She's a con artist. She pretends to be a feminist, which isn't good. Like, feminism does not inspire a lot of fondness with me. It actually is like a mood killer. Well, modern feminists. Like the older classical ones, them I could respect. Anyone who says, screw off, I'm doing things my way, if you don't like it, you can stick it where the sun don't shine, that I can respect. But Anita tries to be a modern feminist, so that's the third or the fourth wave, and they are crazy. They are crazy bitches. I'm not gonna lie. Or some of them are. Some of them are okay. Although, the frequency of them that are okay is kind of debatable. Some of them are decent human beings, but then again, some of them are probably more of classical feminists, not like modern fourth wave or third wave. But Anita likes to pretend that she's one of those, only she's worse. Like fourth wavers and third wavers, they can kind of be scummy. Anita is scum incarnate. She likes to make a mess. She's kind of like the Al Sharpton of the geek culture. She's someone who likes to pretend she's in it or with it. She's not. She pretends to be. She's a grifter, a huckster, a con artist. She's like Jack Thompson in some ways, and Dave Grossman, pretending to give a shit about something that I highly doubt she actually gives a shit about. And yeah, no. Like, she's a very unreliable person, in my opinion. She switches between what her beliefs are. Like when, I think it was in 2019, when after Parkland, when Trump said he wanted to investigate video games and if they cause real world violence. Anita, who had constantly been saying video games cause sexism, said, yeah, there's no connection between video games and real world violence. Shut up, this is stupid. So she's a hypocrite. She says something when it's convenient for her. And now she's in a period in her life where no one gives a shit what she has to say. So she wants to have that relevance again. She also is unreliable because she began by doing these videos about tropes about women in video games. She never finished them. She only did a few, and she never finished the amount she promised. She took the money she was given and fucked off. And did God knows what with it. Like, her, Zoe Quinn, and Brianna Wu are probably the scummiest people I've ever heard of. Actually, Zoe Quinn's worse. She caused a guy to kill himself. And Brianna Wu's just an opportunistic schmuck. an idiot, a douchebag. And this has nothing to do with them being women. I mean, like, if a man did this, I would be calling for them to be hunted down and shamed constantly. See, I'm an equal opportunity apathetic asshole. And that's kind of why this annoys me, because I prefer being in apathy. But this genuinely pisses me off. Because The Mandalorian, it's not perfect. It's not great. I think it's a good show, although I'm kind of now not watching it because Pedro Pascal had to make that stupid tweet on Instagram. Plus, I only really give a shit with the stuff that involves Boba Fett, so I'm going to wait till I cool off before I watch it again. But, and also for the record, this show had characters I did not give a shit about. It had Bo-Katan, I think that's her name, and the Night Owls. And basically the remnants of Death Watch, or a former associate group that had connections to Death Watch. And also you find out that the Mando is apparently a part of a cult, which I'm not going to lie, I find that kind of interesting. I would love to, like, whenever I do get around to watching the show again, I'm definitely going to watch that episode just to see what all they say and see where this takes it, because that means, well, Pedro Pascal can quit bitching and can take off his helmet, but that's beside the point. Point is, Anita's a grifter, and when she was called out on her bullshit, she played the victim, because she believes in victim economics, which is the better the victim you are, the higher you are on the totem pole. Well, yeah, victimhood of women technically would put her pretty high up there, because I think it's like women, blacks, Latinos. Well, actually, I don't know what the hierarchy is. But that seems to be the only motivation that they would have, or at least the motivation they have when no one is buying what they're selling. And it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, you know that one episode of Archer where the gay guy is saying stupid so many times you could swear he said it 100 times? That's how stupid this is. It's very stupid. It's very... just like, no one gives a shit anymore about you, Anita. Go home. Get a job. Find a nice guy or girl, marry them, have some kids, and have a happy life. Is that so much to ask? Like, that's my philosophy. Have a good life and leave a legacy. That's all you should really be aspiring to, in my opinion. And I don't care what kind of a legacy you aspire to. That's your business. But is it so hard to ask that you not make everyone else miserable? Because that's what Anita does. She opens her mouth, and then everyone hears her, and then they think, wow, the barrel of that gun I have is starting to look real friendly right about now. And it's just constant. Like, this is why I hate crybabies. They always got to play the victim and they act entitled to. And it's usually white people who do this. Like that's the annoying thing about the social justice crowd. They want diversity, but it's usually a bunch of white assholes. There are a couple people who are not white who are in it, but yeah, it's usually white people who do this stupid shit. Like the annoying Karen, which is what Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn, and Brianna Wu are always white women who have way too much free time on their hands, need a life, and are bored out of their minds. I mean, would it kill you to get a life? And I know that's hypocritical coming from me, of all people, because I'm just some random asshole that no one gives a shit about on YouTube. But, Jesus Christ. Anyway, these tweets are in reverse order. It's the one on the right, and then the second one is the top one on the left, and the third one is the one on the bottom left. I just thought I'd make that order clear. So, and these all come from Bounty into the Comics, in case I didn't mention that already. If you want the whole story, I recommend going there to read it. I'll leave a link in the description. And I thought I would just give my thoughts on this and ramble, because this is essentially what I also do on BitChute. So there's also that. The only difference is on BitChute, I think I might delve into my thoughts on politics some more. Like how Young E is full of shit. At least politically. Game-wise, he's not so bad. But I unsubscribed when he made that stupid Twitter video. So, anyway, I'm digressing. Actually, you know what? One more thing before I go. Oh yeah, I know I'm probably coming off as an asshole on this, which is entirely possible. Being an asshole is kind of my whole bit. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. I do genuinely like to hear from other people on this kind of thing because I don't interact with people who contradict me on this stuff on Twitter. In fact, I rarely interact with people on Twitter now, except people who like my tweets. Like I don't get to have long conversations with anyone. But yeah, no, if you disagree or agree, I do not care. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you disagree, and if you have a legitimately good argument, I would love to hear it. Or any argument, really. As long as it's not attacking me or falling down to buzzwords. If not that, then yeah, I'll still listen. Just really think it through, because I did not think it through when I started this. I went full off the rails with this. I just made it up as I went along. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments. And remember, the game was rigged from the start.